Hey guys, welcome back to my beauty stash, or welcome if it is your first time here. Hello, my name is Steff. I would love to have you as a subscriber, so be sure to click on that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy watching. I'm going to say Merry Christmas because I'm not entirely sure if this video is going up on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, but I wanted to make sure that I filmed something for either day so that I could come on here, wish all of you a very Merry Christmas, a very happy holiday season, whatever it is that you celebrate. I hope you celebrate with friends and family, loved ones, those closest to you. I think this is going to be a pretty amazing Christmas and holiday season, just because I think we're able to see more family than we did last year. So I hope all of you have amazing feasts. Eat a lot. The calories don't count. I know I will be eating my weight in Christmas cookies in a few minutes. I am just so excited. I'm really happy for the holidays, and this holiday season is really special to me because my almost 18-year-old cat Buster is still with us. During Thanksgiving, we weren't really sure, what the holidays were going to look like, but thank God Buster is doing the best she can for her current condition. So that is my Christmas miracle. I will be posting a picture of me and Buster together in the community section here on YouTube, as well as over on my Instagram. It is at Steff's Beauty Stash. So be on the lookout for that, because that's my Christmas gift this year, me having a Buster for another Christmas. But let's jump into the reason why you guys are here. I am going to share with you the top 10 brands that I think totally ruled 2021. These are brands that consistently turned out good products that were talked about in the beauty community and that a lot of you seem to really enjoy. I know all of the brands that I'm going to list in today's video I have tried in 2021. Some I tried for the first time in 2021. And for all of them, I am looking forward to seeing what 2022 has in store, what they have in store for us, right? But these are just 10 brands that really stood out to me. I think they just had an amazing year, but we'll see. Let's compare notes. You guys will listen to my top 10, and then maybe you can share with me some brands that I missed or some brands that I shouldn't have put on the list. We'll get to all of that in today's video. And guys, I will link all of the makeup that I am wearing in the description box of today's video. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to film this look, but I did use two Christmas palettes, one of them being the ColourPop and Rudolph eyeshadow palette, and the other one being the Nomad Cosmetics Home for the Holidays palette. Everything will be in the description box, and if you end up shopping through some of those affiliate links, I thank you so much for supporting me and my channel, especially around this time of year. So if you guys want to hear me talk about the top 10 brands that I think completely owned 2021, keep on watching. All right, so let's start first with BH Cosmetics. BH Cosmetics consistently released some amazing eyeshadow palettes in 2021. I have their final installment of the Birthstone series, and this is the turquoise palette for December. This ranked in my top 3, just saying, of all 12 of these Birthstone palettes. For Halloween, they released the Poison Shot collection. This is the Venom palette. I think if you have the Sweet Shop palettes, then I would say this one would be the only one you should add to your stash from the Poison Shot collection, and I believe they are all on sale right now. This is a great BH Cosmetics quality, a very nice cool tone color story, but there were 6 different 9-pan eyeshadow palettes released in this collection. Over the summer, they released more eyeshadow palettes in the Travel series, and this one is the Passion in Paris palette. This was one of my top 10 for 2021. This is a beautiful, beautiful color story, really dark, rich shades in here, amazing quality. For Christmas, they didn't disappoint. They came back with another mega size palette. This is the Miss Claus Lit List eyeshadow palette. This is a traditional Christmas palette, and when I say traditional, I mean the shades. The shades are all traditional Christmas color shades. This is a fantastic palette. There is only one pressed glitter, and for those of you who hate pressed glitter, maybe you can overlook it, but I believe this palette is on sale right now on the Ulta Beauty Beauty website, and I'm pretty sure it's on sale too on the BH Cosmetics website. But if you were wanting to try something from BH Cosmetics and you really just didn't know where to start, any one of these palettes that I mentioned, and anything pretty much that they came out with in 2021 is going to be a sure winner, with the exception of the two very disappointing collaborations that they did in 2021. One of them being the Iggy Azalea Totally Plastic collection, and the other one being the Doja Cat collaboration. Those collections, guys, I am so sorry to say, they didn't do it for me. I was disappointed with the quality, with the performance of the majority of those products. There were a few hits sprinkled in the collections, but not enough to where I can say, yes, go out and buy the entire thing. But other than that, guys, everything else that they released that was not a collaboration, A+. I think BH Cosmetics is totally killing their game, and I just can't wait to see what BH Cosmetics has for us next. Next on my list is Juvia's Place. Juvia's Place released a lot of winners. I think this could be the only brand that released consistently amazing products all year round. I don't think I encountered a dud in the items that they released this year. This is one of their blush duos. They released volume 1 and volume 2. This is the one intended for deeper skin tones. I also have the one that's for lighter skin tones. They also released, I think, how many? 4 or 5 different shades in a bronzer duo like this. I picked up the medium shade in that. They also released these little floor pan eyeshadow palettes. How cute is that? This one is the Mints palette. They released 4 of these, and one of my most favorite palettes that they did this year was a very recent palette, and this is the Olori 3 palette. I love this color story. This color story is so, so pretty. I do have videos, I think, on all of these guys. I'll have corresponding videos either up here in the cards, and they will, of course, be linked in the description box of this video in case you want to check out any videos, tutorials, or anything like that featuring all the products that I'm showing you guys. But I think that Juvia's Place had a stellar year. They also released brow products. They also released 3 or 4 different brow products. They released eyeliners. I tried it all. I didn't get all the eyeshadow palettes that came out, but I got a good majority of them. And you guys know Juvia's Place, their little tagline, their slogan is the most pigmented shadows in the world. They are 100% correct when they say that. If you guys haven't tried Juvia's Place yet, you are missing out. Definitely add them to your must-try list of 2022. You won't be disappointed. And guys, something that I realized when I was making this list, a lot of these brands are indie makeup brands. I mean, I think there's only a couple that are, I think, still gonna be indie makeup brands, but they're mainstream indie makeup brands, and there might be one brand that's totally not indie, but for the most part, the majority of the brands that I'm featuring in today's video are all indie makeup brands. So I'm loving that. That really shows that these smaller brands are just giving us their A game, and they want to make sure they're producing the best products possible, which unfortunately can't always be said for mainstream makeup brands. Mainstream makeup brands, take note of all of these indie makeup brands and the amazing things that they're doing. So next on my list, I have Odenzai. Odenzai is a brand that I feel has been getting better and better with each of their releases. I tried Odenzai for the first time in 2020, and I thought that the palettes that I got were great, no issues. I got a highlighter palette as well, but for me, in 2021, this was the first palette I picked up in 2021 from the brand. This is the Norns eyeshadow palette. This one is amazing. The pigmentation, the blendability, just the shade selection, the different textures that are in here. This is how they started 2021, and they ended 2021 with an amazing collaboration with 3 beautiful ladies here on YouTube. This is Judy. This is her Red Dragon palette. They also released one with Tina, the Fancy Face, which is the Hummingbird palette, and then they released one with Annette from Annette's Makeup Corner, and that is the Giant Wolves palette. To my knowledge, this one is in stock, as well as the Hummingbird palette, which is Tina's palette, and I believe Annette's palette is already sold out. This was a trio of palettes. You can buy them individual, or you could have bundled them together. They did come with a really pretty scarf, but these palettes featured 3 different content creators, and I loved it. This was the more neutral palette of the 3, but it's a gorgeous one. Gorgeous. If you have the opportunity to pick any of those up, definitely pick them up. Amazing quality. And I just love seeing when brands reach out to maybe smaller content creators, not content creators that have like millions upon millions of subscribers, but these ladies all have really decent sized YouTube channels. I would say anywhere in the range between 50 to maybe 200,000 subscribers. 200,000 subscribers, that is still considered a small channel, believe it or not. I can't imagine growing to 200,000. I can't even imagine right now getting to 50,000. I'm just glad I made it to 10,000, but I am so happy. I am so happy to see brands reaching out to smaller content creators and letting them share their creativity with the world. Odenzai was definitely on top of their game in 2021. I know 2022, they're gonna have so many special, so many beautiful things for us. And I just have to say, I love this little book style of eyeshadow palette. This was one of my favorites too. This was the Cat's Breath eyeshadow palette. I hope they continue to do this style. I just love it. I love it on display on my beauty room shelves and on the shelves right behind me. But yeah, guys, if you haven't tried Odenzai, this is the time to try them. I think they're even having a sale right now. They are a Swedish-based indie makeup brand. So if you are living here in the US, it'll take maybe 2 weeks for you to get your products. But guys, Odenzai is definitely worth the wait when it comes to shipping. And for me, it is just definitely a brand that really stood out in 2021. Next on my list is Huda Beauty. Huda Beauty released a lot of product in 2021, and they even started this new glowish line, which I am very happy to see. Now, I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I think of Huda Beauty, I think of a full coverage beat. But Huda and her team realized that not everybody is into full coverage, and if there was a year to come out with a skin tint, 2021 was definitely the year of the skin tint. Huda released a glowish skin tint, which I happen to enjoy using, and then she released all of these other products in the glowish line. One of them being this glowish. This is a luminous press powder. This is kind of like a finishing powder. This is how I treat it. I love this stuff. I cannot get enough of it. I am wearing it today. I just love the finish that it gives to my skin. I am a normal to oily skin type, and the only place that I don't place this powder is on my nose because I don't need to glow there. I will do that all on my own. She also released this mini size of one of her highlighter palettes, which I am wearing this shade today. Other items in the glowish line, this is a bronzer. This is the shade medium. And then I also picked up the blush, which is right here. This one is in the shade Healthy Peach. And then last but not least, perhaps one of the best palettes of 2021, the Rose Quartz palette. For me, this was a pretty like unassuming eyeshadow palette. I was like, yeah, I probably have all these shades already. I don't need to buy it. I was wrong. After seeing some of my favorite content creators here on YouTube use their palette, love their palette, I was just blown away. Picked it up during the Sephora VIB sale, and I have heard nothing but amazing things about this palette. So I'm so glad I was able to pick it up. I love to see Huda's brand expanding and not just doing, again, full coverage and all that stuff. They are thinking about everybody else in between who doesn't necessarily need to wear a full coverage foundation, especially those of us that are still wearing masks. I like to wear something really light on my skin if I know I'm going to be wearing a mask for the duration of the day. But I was really happy with the Huda products that I picked up this year, and I look forward to seeing what she's going to give us in 2022. Next up, we have ColourPop. I think ColourPop is just getting consistently better with their formula. I will say there was, I think, 2 eyeshadow palettes this year that it was just okay, but the majority of their eyeshadow palette releases, their blush releases, which these 2 are, just their overall collaborations, those collections, I think packaging, everything, just down to all of the little details has been phenomenal. This was one of my favorite collections from ColourPop this year. This was their collaboration collaboration with Hello Kitty, and I brought out the 2 different blushes that were released in the collection. I just think the packaging is just too cute. I mean, too cute for words. There were several different quad eyeshadow palettes available in this collection as well. Absolutely loved them. I am wearing a few pieces from the Rudolph collaboration, their Christmas release right here. I do have a few shadows on that are in this particular eyeshadow palette. Really nice. I mean, this is a really pretty, again, going back to that traditional, those traditional Christmas colors, this is a really, really nice palette. I'm wearing the red lip gloss, lipstick, and lip liner that came in that collection. The Lush Life palette, guys, this Lush Life palette is gorgeous. I even bought the trio of cream gel liners. You guys have seen me use those a number of times here on my channel. Unfortunately, I think that trio is sold out. I think the palette is still in stock. If you can find this, I would definitely pick it up if these are your shades. And again, packaging. This one was a complete shock to me. This one was released first at Ulta Beauty. I want to say this came out about 3 weeks ago. This is the Ticket to Dreamland eyeshadow palette. Guys, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. This palette made it into my top 10 best eyeshadow palettes of 2021. There was just something about the quality, the performance of this eyeshadow palette, and the color story. You might not think much of the color story just by looking at it here or looking at pictures online. You need to get this home and start playing with it, and I promise you, you will enjoy it. I also loved the Malibu Barbie collaboration that ColourPop did. I thought this was a really solid, a really good palette. I even love the lipsticks that were in this collection. The only thing I was a bit disappointed with was the size of the mirror that came in the collection, but I still use it. I still have it up here. I just think ColourPop really went above and beyond this year. I think they just keep getting consistently better and better as the years go by. I can't imagine all of the collaborations and collections that they have lined up for 2022. I mean, if it's anything like 2021, I know ColourPop is going to have an amazing year next year, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. Next, let's talk about Natasha Denona. I think Natasha Denona really stepped up with the releases this year. This is the Retro palette. This is a beautiful, beautiful eyeshadow palette, but I feel like Natasha Denona had a lot of releases. I think she had more releases this year than she has in past years, and I'm not mad about that at all. Guys, if this is your color story, these warm, like berry tone shades, this is definitely a palette that I think you should add to your stash, and it is the Midi palette, which means it's $65. It is still a little bit pricey, but it's more affordable than, say, the larger palette. This is her $129 eyeshadow palette. This is a Circle Loco. This was definitely one of my favorites. I had never seen Natasha Denona do something as colorful as this. This was released in the spring of this year, and I absolutely loved it. I loved it so, so much. I was really happy to add this to my stash. More recently, this little baby right here, this is the Rose Cheek Duo. I love it. I love mini size makeup, and I hope she continues to do more of this. I even love picking up her little mini eyeshadow palettes. This is a mini Xenon palette. I have reached for this palette so many times. So many times. This is just a solid little neutral black gray eyeshadow palette. This comes in handy, and I'm just loving everything that Natasha Denona has been releasing. There have been very few products that are misses for me. I'm even going back and trying things that she's had in her brand for a while, which unfortunately, it seems like her foundations, I have the Transfer Matte and I have the Foundation X. It seems like both of those are on their way out. So I am hoping that we get one, maybe two new foundations from Natasha Denona in 2022. I'm also hoping to try a concealer for her. So maybe 2022 is going to be the year that she focuses more on base makeup versus, you know, eyeshadow palettes and stuff. I wouldn't mind that at all, but her eyeshadow formula, I think, is also just getting better and better. And I mean, Natasha Denona is everywhere here on YouTube, on Instagram. I don't have TikTok, but I'm sure she's all over TikTok as well. A lot of people really seem to be getting into her brand this year, and with good reason. She makes gorgeous, gorgeous makeup, and I mean, who wouldn't want to receive Natasha Denona as a gift? I know I would. Next up, we have Pat McGrath. Now, I almost didn't include Pat McGrath in this video. I think I was gonna put Pat McGrath as an honorable mention, but the main reason that I am putting Pat McGrath in these top 10 brands of 2021 is because of this collection right here, the Bridgerton collaboration, which comes out on Christmas Day. No, I think it's the day after Christmas. It's on the 26th. I will most definitely update you guys in the community section and over on my Instagram when this releases. But I think this collaboration is going to perhaps break the internet, or at least break Pat McGrath's website, because a lot of people are fans of the show. Now, I don't watch the show. I'm not really even too sure what the show is about, but I know a lot of people out there love it. Like, this show has a cult following, and so does Pat McGrath. So I really think this collection, and especially it being released in 2021, this is just gonna put her over the top. But these were a couple other releases that I enjoyed of Pat McGrath this year. I picked up both of her new blush trios, which one of these blush trios, not the shades, but she's gonna include a blush trio in that Bridgerton collection. This is the one for lighter skin tones. And then the first one I bought was actually this one. This is the one that's intended more for deeper skin tones. I like them both. I just use light pressure when I'm going in with this one, but these shades are super, super pigmented. I also picked up her holiday palette for this year. This one is the Mothership Mega Celestial Odyssey eyeshadow palette. I definitely think this palette is a step up from last year's holiday palette, like just so much better packaging wise. And I also think the formula is a bit better than what was in last year's palette. And this is affordable. It's $75. Yes, that may not sound affordable to some of you, but versus $127 or $125 that her palettes typically are, I mean, this is something that you could very easily pick up, and it's not going to break the bank quite a bit. I just think Pat McGrath had a lot of good releases. She also had some more of those Divine Rose releases. I don't know. I can't keep track. I haven't picked those up, but I do know there was a collection released earlier in the year, and it was very, very popular. So I think she's had a fantastic year. And if 2021 is any indication as to the kind of year Pat McGrath is going to have in 2022, I think we are all in for an exciting ride. Next is another indie makeup brand, and I'm talking about Nomad Cosmetics. Nomad Cosmetics is a Texas-based indie makeup brand, and I'm actually wearing this palette right here. This is the Home for the Holidays eyeshadow palette, and it's a predominantly all shimmer palette with the exception of the matte black right here. This is a beautiful one. But Nomad Cosmetics seems to be getting more and more popular with each of their releases. This is another one of their releases from earlier in the year. This is released in the summer. This is the America's Parks palette. I love this one. It has green eyeshadow, it has yellow in there. I just thought this was a beautiful palette, and I love the concept of Nomad Cosmetics. Obviously, all of their palettes are released around a certain destination that the owners, Felicia and Auntie, have visited, a certain vacation spot or just a place that is special to them in their hearts, with the exception of this palette that I just showed you. This is the Home for the Holidays palette. This palette was created to help the shelter animals at the Dallas County Humane Society. So I do know that a portion of the proceeds of this palette are going to go straight to the Dallas County Humane Society. And that's the thing with Nomad Cosmetics. All of their eyeshadow palettes, they give back. There is always a cause tied to them. This other one was a major hit. This is the Haunted Europe eyeshadow palette. This was their Halloween/fall release for 2021. This also made it into my top 10 best eyeshadow palettes of 2021, just because I think the color story is just super unique. You have cool tone in here, you have warm tone, and just the overall packaging. I mean, that's the thing with Nomad Cosmetics and these indie makeup brands. They pay attention to all of the little details. And what I especially love about Nomad Cosmetics is not just their amazing quality, they do it at an affordable price point while still being able to give back to a cause that's close to their hearts. I cannot wait to add more Nomad to my stash in 2022. I am so excited for this brand. So bring it on, Nomad. I cannot wait to see what you guys have in store for us for 2022. Next, we have another indie makeup brand, and that is Glamlight. Glamlight has had a heck of a year. They have done a lot of amazing eyeshadow palettes. This one is from the Happy Hour collection. This is the Dirty Martini palette. This was such a good collection. They released 4 different eyeshadow palettes. There was also a couple highlighters. This is the Pina Colada highlighter that were included in the collection, along with some lip products. And I just thought that was such an amazing collection. The formula is fantastic. If you're familiar with Glamlight, you know that they make an amazing matte and shimmer formula, and these palettes did not disappoint. Their most recent collection is this one right here. Is a collaboration with Icy. This one is the Cherry Icy eyeshadow palette. If you're looking for a new red eyeshadow palette to add to your stash, you definitely might want to consider this one. This one retails for 25 bucks, which I think is a very fair price point for Glamlight, and perhaps their biggest hit of the year was this one right here, the Michaela collaboration. This palette was everywhere this year, and with good reason, because Glamlight and Michaela did an outstanding job with this palette. I think the formula is so special. In my opinion, this is the best Glamlight palette that they have ever done. And to my knowledge, this might be the first collaboration that they've ever done. First collaboration with like a beauty influencer, which Michaela J is known on TikTok. This is how she got her start. It was on TikTok. She's now taken over Instagram, and obviously she's gonna conquer the whole beauty industry. But this was a fantastic release. There were some lashes released in the collection. There was a highlighter, and I want to say there was some lip products. I only picked up the eyeshadow palette. Guys, if it's in stock, which I think it might be, add it to your stash. No regrets, no disappointment, and definitely be on the lookout for Glamlite Cosmetics in 2022. If you love food-themed makeup, which this is, I think, one of their only releases that is not food-themed, you need Glamlite in your stash. And last but not least, the only mainstream makeup brand, the only, I think, non-indie makeup brand that I have to share with you guys, a brand that I think just did so well this year. I'm talking about Wet n Wild. And this little product right here, which was my best foundation of 2021, this is the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. This is what started it all. This was released at the very beginning of 2021. I am wearing the Tinted Hydrator today. I have the shade. What shade am I wearing? I think the shade is Fair. Yeah, I'm wearing the shade Fair. This little $5-6 foundation really just set the tone for Wet n Wild for the rest of the year. I really hope they can extend the shade range in this product, and I really hope they can expand this little tinted hydrator range into other products, perhaps a concealer, a primer, a finishing powder, or something along those lines. And this has been so well loved by a lot of people, and rightfully so. It is a fantastic product, and for $5 or $6, guys, it's absolutely amazing. Then Wet n Wild went on to release the SpongeBob collaboration, which this thing sold out so fast, especially like the full PR box bundle. I didn't get the whole PR box. I just picked a few products that I wanted, and I do have a video where I'm trying some of the products in the collection. This is the eyeshadow palette from the collection, and it is a really solid performing eyeshadow palette. And then this is the highlighter. This highlighter, I think, is an exact dupe for Fenty Trophy Wife. So if you can find this floating around, you might want to pick it up, especially if you like SpongeBob. Wet n Wild also released new color icon palettes. They were released at the beginning of this year, and these are their 10-pan eyeshadow palettes. This one is in the shade Heart and Soul. I tried 3 of them. I think I tried 3 of them, and they were all pretty good. I do have some videos up, so I will most definitely, I'll just link my Wet n Wild playlist. That way you can see all of the other videos I have pertaining to Wet n Wild, including the tinted hydrator, the wear test and everything. But I thought these were really solid performing eyeshadow palettes. And then in the summer, they released this mega eyeshadow palette. This is the Wild Heart eyeshadow palette. Guys, this retails for about, I think, like $15-16. It's an amazing palette. It is a really good palette. Aside from the size, I think that's the only downfall. these shadows perform, and so do the shimmers. They're all fantastic. If this is your color story, if you would just want to add some new Wet n Wild to your stash and you don't mind the size of this palette, this is a great eyeshadow palette from Wet n Wild. And then Wet n Wild also collaborated with Saved by the Bell. How cute was that? I am wearing the mascara, which is this one right here. I'm wearing that today. They also released these new Cloud Pout. These are marshmallow lip mousses, which, by the way, I just got an amazing PR package from Wet n Wild, and they sent me all of the shades of these Cloud Pout marshmallow lip mousses. So I will definitely be swatching those for you guys really soon. So overall, guys, I think Wet n Wild just had a really good year. They added some really killer products to their lineup. I mean, starting with the tinted hydrator, that thing is one of the best products that Wet n Wild has ever released. And then they collaborated with a lot of cute brands. They really tugged on our heartstrings with some of their releases, but I've always been a fan of Wet n Wild. I always love to see what they do. I love to buy their full box set collections, and I'm hoping that they do more of that going into 2022. Not necessarily collaborations like with franchises. I want to see Wet n Wild releasing more of their own collections in like that PR box bundle. If you think back to a few years ago, they had like that Midnight Mermaid collection, and then they had this other collection that had like hummingbirds on it, and then they had the Rebel Rose collection. I want to see those collections again from Wet n Wild, so I'm really hoping that in 2022 we see more of that. Alright guys, so those were the 10 brands that I felt just totally ruled 2021. They brought their A game. They just consistently gave us good products. I'm so happy that I welcomed a lot of these brands and their new releases into my stash in 2021. I really have enjoyed all of the products that I bought from these brands in 2021, but now I want to hear from you guys. What brands really stood out to you in 2021? What brands do you feel, man, they did it right. They were on their A game in 2021. Leave it in the comments down below. And once again, guys, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I don't know what day this video is going up, whether you're gonna see it on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, but whatever day this video goes up and whatever day you're able to watch it, just know that I wish you guys nothing but the best, and I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. I wanna thank you guys so much for watching another one of my videos. You all have a great day or night, wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, guys. Drink that water along with some hot chocolate, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.